Okay, for the lab 2, so we have done the task 1. So this one is the start button and stop button, and this one is the timer coil for the timer. So this one is the motor. The Q100 is the motor, and this one is the normally open circuit for the motor.
Okay. The basic function of this ladder diagram is just to start the button, and after 5 seconds something it have to stop by itself. Okay. We already start to do the test mode. Already start the test mode. Okay. Once we touch the start button, the timer will start and it come back to the normal mode. So we don't need to stop. We know it will stop at this moment. It will return to the initial state for the task 1.
Yeah, as you mentioned, for the first ladder, for the first rung, we have seen there's a start button. Once the start button is pressed, the motor is turned on. The latching circuit is built for it to turn on, so it will go until the stop button pressed. But just because in the instruction number 9 they have mentioned to actually add up a timer to make it automatically stop after 5 seconds, we have add up the second rung where the motor turns on the timer, and the timers that normally close will be placed on the rung of the motor operation. So any question on that, guys?
Do you understand?
No. Understand.
Okay, so I think so we can shoot up to the next session. Mano, please on the next one.
Yeah.
Mano, do the demonstration. You done the demonstration?
Yes, I done that.
Okay.
Okay, now we have done with the task 2 that have been given in the lab 2.
Okay.
Okay, should I start the test mode
Yeah,
or
yeah.
how, Siva?
Just be done with the share test mode, just on the test mode together.
Yeah, okay.
On the test mode. Then we
It's
can
easy.
explain the
It's
ladder
easy
diagram.
if can show the both screens. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go for the test mode now. Give me one nice.
Okay, after this I will explain the ladder diagram first, then Manu you can demonstrate it now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Wait, the test mode haven't opened yet. Yeah, okay, it's now.
Tamil, notify us when the time is that the timing is 10 minutes.
Okay.
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 Silva, you can start your explanation.
Okay, so when we take a look at the ladder diagram, so for the first ladder diagram, we have set the start PB and stop PB and everything, and at the end we have used the memory coil. So it's an internal coil. So it's not an input or output. It's the internal coil. So I've designed it in such way. So the memory coil activates when the start button is pressed. So when we go to the second round, we can see the memory coil turning on the start light, which is an indicator for the system is ready to run. Then the memory coil will also attach together the start PB to actually turn on the motor box conveyor. The second rung, 2-6. So this is how the motor box conveyor turn on. As already mentioned, the motor box conveyor will keep on running until the sensor 2 is detected. Once the sensor 2 is detected, it will turn off the motor conveyor and turn on the apple conveyor. So
Okay.
once the apple conveyor is start running, the apple is falling down, right? So there will be a counter. So So in this case, we will use the differential differentiator thing, differential down to count. So once the 10 is counted, it will start on running back. The conveyor box until the next box is interrupted by the S2. So in this, we have clearly mentioned that the sensor 2 is needed to be activated for it to stop back again. So Mano, can you please demonstrate it on how it works?
Yeah, sure. Okay, first of all, okay, once we have to see the, you have to observe the test mode and the ladder diagram simultaneously. Okay, once the start button on, as we see the box, conveyor of the box and the motor is turned on, and then once the conveyor start to move, the work of sensor 2 is to detect the box, presence of the box, and it will at the time itself it will stop the box conveyor, and it will start to activate the apple conveyor. And at this moment the apple will start to fall down. Okay, so for this function we have to see we have used a counter. As you can see, we have been having the 10 count. We have been using the counter number 10.
Timer, right? Counter, sorry. So it will count until 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Okay.
So for once the one apple as detected, the one counter timer will be decreasing simultaneously until we clicking to the last one, 0. Okay, so the box at this moment the box already fill up with the 10 apples. At this moment, as per the instruction, we have to repeat the process again. So after that, the box, as per in the instruction, the box conveyor started to run.
So now press the S2 again. Press the S2 again.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can see it's a repetition cycle. Once the S2 is pressed, it's stop the box conveyor and start the apple conveyor for it to fall back. So it's a continuous cycle. This will goes until the stop button is pressed.
Okay.
And the stop button is already pressed. Tamil, what's the time now? How many minutes already?
9 minutes.
9 minutes. Okay. So anyone have any questions before I just briefly explain? Summarize everything.
So just a confuse about the motor angle and the conveyor angle, because how we know the conveyor if these are enough for 10 angle.
They have fixed the size.
It's in the left sheet.
Let's say you have a standard box size. And 10 apples can be fit, so that's why they have put there 10. Even in a lab sheet they have mentioned 10.
Okay. So we have been using the counter just to make every sensor detecting each apple. So one click to the sensor will be considered as a one count decrease.
For those who might be confused why we are using a differential down is like a pulse, Once the string drops, it's just a quick pulse. So it will take the pulse, it will count the pulse. It's more efficient in this kind of applications. For apple dropping, it's a dropping, right? So it's so fast. So this differential executions will be much more efficient for this kind of applications. And then use a CX designer for with the help of CX designer, we can see it more clearly rather than just scrolling down the CX programmer. We can view it over here.
Last time we used to face a lot of difficulties to see the differentiation. When one button is on, we have to scroll down, we have to see the downwards one only.
Yeah, previous lab we have in this previous lab we have used just for like two outputs like that. Now we can see we are using more more outputs, and the reason why and even the stop light or start light is not actually mentioned in our lab in our lab sheet, but we just
Consider as a indication for this.
Yes. Yeah, to make it more proper in the indication, so that's why we have used. Even Mano, go up a bit on the ladder diagram. Okay, even some they have used start light to actually as indications for the system to start up. But our style, as we have already mentioned, we have used the memory relay to make it more convenient on those things. That's why we have used this. So don't get confused. Huh?
Okay.
Okay. So I think so that we all. If there are no any questions here, we just can turn off the recording.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
சரிங்களா அடுத்ததான் வருமா மனோ